Turn that down now. Ah, dear, oh dear me. Where do I start? Well, that's the season wrapped. And I think I know 99% of you. 99% of you who follow me are glad that season is done. I know you're glad. Done, buried, never to be repeated. And you know what? I'm not even really going to talk about this race. I'll gloss over it a little bit, but I'm not going to go into detail. Why should I? The race was horrendous. Everybody knows that race was horrendous. Now, Lewis Hamilton. Listen, I'm going to tell you now. You know Lewis Hamilton's car? When Lewis Hamilton's car broke down, I was kind of relieved. Because you know why? I was relieved because I thought, finally, this season is done. This season is over, wrapped, and he'll never have to drive that dog shit car ever again. Ever again. I do not care who don't agree with me. I don't care if people say, oh yeah, the car was okay. It wasn't okay. Face the facts, it wasn't okay. Listen, Mercedes are not going to tweet you back. They're not going to retweet you. They're not going to invite you to the factory. Let's just get real, okay? Let's just get real. That car was horrendous. If you want a back pain, if you want long-term back pain, if you want long-term arthritis, if you want long-term ligament damage, go and drive that car. I know it's a rhetorical because we know we're not going to drive the car, but I'm just saying, drive that car, and them things are going to happen to you in later life. Unless you got a physio like Lewis Hamilton's physio, where you can pay thousands and thousands of pounds an hour to get your body right. The average person like me and you who's watching this video, yeah, we can't afford that. So if you want that, go drive that car. That car is probably one of the worst cars in Formula One history. I would prefer the fan car from the 70s over that Mercedes car, over the W12. Remember the fan car in the 70s? If you go and watch a fan car, you watch some old videos online of the fan car. It was a fan car in Formula One. It was only there for 2 races. Niki Lauda quote, if anyone drives that car for more than a couple of races, that's basically saying you're going to die. So the FIA cancelled it. Was a fan car. I would rather drive that fan car than this horrendous W13. The W13 is the worst car in Formula One history. It's got to be in the top 5, at least the top 5 of Formula One cars. The Formula One car, the W13, was horrendous. If you want back pain, if you want arthritis, if you want ligament damage, go drive that car, because that's all that car's going to give you. I know it's a rhetorical question, we're not going to drive the car. I'm just saying that's what it's going to give you. Unless you got thousands and thousands of pounds, which you can pay a physio thousands of pounds an hour, like Lewis Hamilton, that car is horrendous. And I don't care if people come out and say, oh, it was okay, car just needed a few tweaks. Listen, Mercedes are not going to tweet you, okay? Mercedes not going to retweet you. They're not going to invite you to the factory. They're not going to invite you into the technical room and maybe potentially give you a job. It's never going to happen. Let's just get real. It doesn't matter how much you like the tweets. It doesn't matter how much you like the tweets. And it doesn't matter how much you retweet or be nice. It doesn't matter if you got a clean Twitter account. Speak the truth, okay? Speak the truth. This is where I come in. I've said this for years since I started doing this podcast. I might not have the biggest channel, far from it. I might not have the biggest following, far from it. But I will continue to speak the truth and give you my opinion, even if it upsets a few people on the way. It doesn't matter. It's my opinion. This is what I do. I cannot go to bed at night giving you opinion, which is not mine. I have to give you my opinion, because if I don't, I ain't going to be able to sleep at night. I'm going to be cranky. I'm going to be boiling up like a kettle, and then if suddenly explode. I have to give you my opinion, and I have to give you what I think is the truth. This season, that car was horrendous. This 2022 season is the worst season, one of the worst seasons in F1 history, and the W13 is one of the worst cars in Formula 1 history. It was horrendous. They promised us that this season, the 2022 season, they promised us that this season was going to be one of the greatest seasons. All the cars are going to be able to bunch up together. We're going to get more close racing. We never got the close racing. All it was the Max Verstappen show. After Spain, it was all about the Max Verstappen show. Ferrari blew it. Ferrari were my picks at the beginning to win the 2022 season. That fell apart after Spain. Sainz had 4 DNFs. Never going to happen. If you're getting 4 DNFs in the season, you ain't going to win a world title. Not going to happen. Charles Leclerc had DNFs. Bad strategy. Fighting at Silverstone together, getting the 2 drivers to fight on the track together. And if they would have listened to me and picked them at the same time, they could have had a 1 and 2 at Silverstone Ferrari. But they never listened. Obviously, they ain't going to listen to me. But that's the season. It's all been about Max Verstappen and Red Bull. It's been about corruption, again, coming from Red Bull. We know Red Bull's corrupted. Last year, Abu Dhabi, with Michael Massey, FIA, the whole organisation, all crooked. And then you got this year with the cost cap, getting that fake penalty. The penalty, a fine. That fine is not even going to touch. That fine that Red Bull got is not even a whisker on Christian Horner's cat. Nothing. That's not going to affect them. What, millions and millions of dollars are going to get fined? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They said it's going to be 10% reduction in wind tunnel time. It doesn't matter about the wind tunnel time. Their car is ready to go. It's ready to go. Just like when you order something from the internet and it's all ready, flat pack, all ready to go. It's good at the box. So they don't really need the wind tunnel time. Because of one of the constructors, it's down to 70% wind tunnel time. And because of the 10% reduction on top of the 70%, now it's 60% wind tunnel time. They don't care. That's nothing to them. They tried to come out the week after and say, oh look, my kids are getting bullied at school. My engineer kids are getting bullied at school. They're doing that to style it out because they know that they got away with it. They can't walk away with smiling on the face and say, oh look, we got away with it. I'm hard. We got away with it again. Like we all knew they was going to. They can't say that. So they come out and say, oh, they dropped the bully routine. They said, oh, we're getting bullied. This is harassment. And then what did the FIA go and do? They go and put out a statement on Twitter and said, you know what? All the drivers, all the people on Twitter, we need to stamp out hate because Christian Horner said that his kids and his engineers' kids are getting bullied at school because they cheated in the cost cap. That's basically what it was. But when Lewis Hamilton gets subject to racism for 15 years on Twitter, 15 years on social media, F1 never said one thing. Never. The only thing that FIA said is when Lewis Hamilton brought the Black Lives Matter to their platform, to their F1 platform, they didn't like it. They said, look, we'll stand as one. Nobody stands as one. Lewis Hamilton stands on his own. Very simple. The only one that probably stood with him to an extent, to be fair, was Vettel. Nobody else did. Even Bottas in the end ended up putting his white t-shirt on. Remember he used to wear his black t-shirt? Bottas put his white t-shirt on because he thought, nah, forget this isn't me. I'm not doing this. Half of the grid was standing up and the other was kneeling down. Why couldn't all the F1 drivers kneel down? You know why? Because it was all a show. They didn't believe in it, and that's it. And it proves on what happened the season after the Black Lives Matter thing. What happened to the season after? The FIA banned it and says no one's going to be kneeling. There you go. They didn't believe in it in the first place because that's the F1 and the corrupted organisation all circled round F1 and Red Bull because the F1 do not want Lewis Hamilton to win another title. They don't want it. They want Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is their boy, their poster child, and that's it. It's very simple. They look at Lewis Hamilton and think, we don't want him. He ain't going to break Michael Schumacher's championship record. He's equaled it, but that's all he's getting. He ain't getting no more. And all these rules, all these regulations, everything what's circling around, it's all to favour Red Bull and Max Verstappen. And if you do not agree with me, get off my channel. Don't come back. I don't want your subscription. Very simple. Because I don't care. If you don't like me, do one. Don't watch it. for the people who do like me and do follow me, the loyal fans, more love to you. More love to you. More love. But for the people who are just going to come on, put in the comment section and try and troll me on Twitter, which you could never do, by the way, because all it is just a report and then you're off Twitter. I do that all the time. I love it. You're not going to come on my Twitter feed with your stupid little numbers with your 2022 accounts. Come on my Twitter and try and tell me anything or try and shout abuse at me anything. All it is a simple report and you get thrown off Twitter. I've done it the other day. I had some idiot come on my Twitter, started doing racist stuff, saying the N-word, and what did I go and do? I reported it to Twitter. 2 days later, I got the report that he got taken off Twitter. So either way, I win. All you got to do is be respectful. If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me, that's fine. But don't shout abuse at me. Because I don't come from this stupid-ass generation. I come from a generation who we do not care. Okay? We do not care. Words don't hurt me, you get me? Mama used to tell me, sticks and bones, wherever it is, words will never hurt you. That's the generation I come from, okay? So all these little words, little stupid, little geeky words, don't bother me. Never have, never will, okay? Because you know in real life, you're not going to come up to the next man's face. You're just a coward. Very simple. But back to the F1. Lewis Hamilton, the car, when it broke down on the grid, I was relieved. I was relieved. Because finally, they can put this car 6 feet under, never ever to be seen again. We actually had Toto getting interviewed after the race with his grin as usual, and he was saying, you know what, we're gonna have Lewis Hamilton's car in one of the factories at the front at the reception, and we're gonna have George Russell's car in the other factory at the front of reception. And then Martin Brundle said, "Why are you doing that for?" Because to remind us how wrong we got it. We could walk into work and we could look at that car and we could say, you know what, that's how wrong we got it. That's how wrong we got it. And we're not going to do it again. Now, if it was up to me and they said to me, what would you like to do with that car? I would get the 2 cars. I'd put them on the back of a boat. I'd take it out to the middle of the ocean and I'd put 2 grenades. I'd put 6 grenades in the car, 6 each in each car, walk away and blow that up to smithereens. Very simple. Dynamite. Forget the grenades, the dynamite. Put it in there. C4. Get out of there and blow the 2 cars up. And hope the car sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Never ever to resurface, because that car was a death trap from day one. No, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Michael Schumacher. I don't care if you're Ayrton Senna. I don't care if you're Juan Montoya. I don't care if you're flipping Raikkonen in his prime. Mickey Hakkinen in his prime. I do not care. Whoever's driving that car, you ain't going to win no races. If you do, you win one by luck. Very simple. That's it. You ain't going to win no championship in that car. I don't care who you are. For all you Max Verstappen fans, you stupid geeks, yeah? Soon as you say, oh, Lewis would win it, no, Max would win in that car, Max would win in Lewis Hamilton's car. In the 2022 Mercedes, the W13, Max Verstappen would win the championship in that car. That's how stupid they are. Really? Think about it before you embarrass yourself. Oh yeah, you've already have. No. That's it, man. Lewis Hamilton broke down. I was glad he broke down. Probably get the early plane home. He deserves it. Listen, people are going to say, oh yeah, George Russell finished in front of Lewis Hamilton. No, you listen to you stupid geeks. This is where these stupid new fans don't know nothing about Formula 1. Started following Formula 1 because Drive to Survive. But what it boils down to, Lewis Hamilton has been developing that car for most of the season. He has been developing that car. He's been giving his feedback back to the engineers, back to the technical team, back to Toto, and they've been trying to rescue this car to try and make it drivable. So basically, Lewis Hamilton was a tester and George Russell was the racer to test the car. But Lewis Hamilton was doing all the technical stuff and all the engineering stuff with the engineers, with the technical team. And don't forget the free races where Lewis Hamilton was leading Russell, and Russell was like four or five places behind, and all of a sudden, Lewis pits, fresh tyres, and all of a sudden, boom, safety car. And that capitalised, that Russell had the old tyres, capitalises on it, on the safety car, 3 times, 3 races. So if you calculate all that, Lewis Hamilton will be in front. And you know what? I know you're not going to listen, but that's fact. That's fact. Go watch the season again. I think it was Miami, Imola, and I forgot the other one. It was another race. Hamilton was in front. He put the tyres on. Fresh tyres. George Russell was like a few places behind him. Safety car come out, and George Russell capitalised on the safety car. Came out in front of Lewis Hamilton. Very simple, because of the safety car. Happened 3 times. But the season was a disaster. It was a Max show. Not from day one since Spain. Ferrari, nowhere. After Spain, nowhere. Listen, Ferrari, you need to get rid of Matteo Benito. I've been saying it for years. This guy is a disgrace to Ferrari. A disgrace. Get out of Ferrari. Why you got him there? You're never going to win. Why do you always have to have Italian engineers? You need to think outside the box. The last time you won a title, you had Ross Brawn running the show. And he's British engineers, some of them, and you won the title. Why do you always have to have Italian engineers? This is where you're doing yourself. You need to think outside the box, start looking elsewhere for engineers, and maybe one day you might win a title. Maybe. But you're not going to win one with Matteo Benito. It's never going to happen. And Rathead, I think his technical advisor, Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is done with Ferrari. There's rumours going around now that in a couple of years that Charles Leclerc could go to Mercedes. That's the rumours. It's not fact. That's just some stupid rumour going around. It could be fact, I don't know, but at the moment it's just a rumour. So Charles Leclerc might be going to Mercedes. See what happens. But talking of going to Mercedes, I said this on my video 2 weeks ago. I said Daniel Ricciardo is going to go to Red Bull, and I think that Mick Schumacher is going to go to Mercedes as a reserve driver. 2 guys on the grid now, Daniel Ricciardo and Schumacher, going to Red Bull, Mercedes to do as a second driver. Now, as soon as, this is even before the Perez incident at Brazil, as soon as Perez came out in the news and said, we know what Max Verstappen, that shows you what kind of person Max Verstappen is when he didn't move over for him after Checo moved over for him in the same race. But Max Verstappen says, no, I don't care, you moved over for me, but I'm going to move over for you. After Perez moved over for Max Verstappen and Max Verstappen didn't pay it back. At the end, you heard it on the radio, he outed Max Verstappen, and he done it in a press conference. He says, we know what kind of person Max is. As soon as Checo Perez done that, Sergio Perez, as soon as he said that in the news, that was his contract gone, just like that. 1 year to go, and we're not going to renew it. Because it's funny how they're getting Dan Ricciardo in now. But I said this before the incident in Brazil. I always thought that Dan Ricciardo, when he was looking for a second drop, looking for a team that he can go there and just basically chill out for 1 year, I thought it's going to be Red Bull. He's always got the close ties with Red Bull. Christian Horner likes him. Helmut Marko likes him. And Perez has done his job. Perez has gone there. He won Max Verstappen them 2 titles, which illegally. He helped Max Verstappen so many times to win that race. And Max Verstappen didn't help him. All he wanted to do was finish second in the championship. That's all he wanted to do, second. And Max Verstappen doing that cost him to get second, in my opinion. Some people are going to, oh yeah, it's not like that. Because no, if Perez would have got second, if he would have moved on from Perez, he would have had enough points, he would have came into the next Grand Prix, and he would have played the strategy, and he would have got second in a championship, but he never. They screwed Perez. Max Verstappen runs Red Bull. No one's going to tell me it's proof. For once you come on your team radio and the team radio tells you to move over and you ignore him and say, listen, I ain't going to move over for him. I told you before, and that's it. Conversation over. There's nothing no one can do. They're not going to get rid of Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is their meal ticket. They're not going to get rid of Max Verstappen. The board love him. Helmut Marko likes him. He's there for life. They're not gonna get rid of Max Verstappen. So effectively, he runs the team. Very simple. And as for Schumacher, I said it. Schumacher's going to go to Mercedes. That's been confirmed, or that's been confirmed that he's going to go Mercedes as a third driver. And Dan Ricciardo is going to Red Bull, and that was it. And the season is over. We should get this season, get the car, get the whole season, wrap it in a nice big wrapper, wrap it all up, and fuck it into the sea and blow it up and get rid of it. And hopefully this season never get mentioned again, because this season was shit. Absolutely dog shit. Very simple. So that's it, man. That's the end of the review. This is me signing out. I'll see you soon. I'm still gonna be doing the flaming tarmac. I'm not sure if I'm doing one this week, or if not this week, it's definitely gonna be next week. I'll be doing one a week. I still got the podcast on Spotify. Go on Spotify, Solar People and F1 Reviews. Look for the logo right there. There's a logo on the screen there. The red little logo, Solar P1. Look out for that on iTunes and Spotify. That's me. Hit the follow, hit the like. I've got a few more podcasts being uploaded this week, so look out for them for the weekend so you can listen to. So, follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. I'm always on social media. Follow me on there if you fancy talking about F1. At the moment, I'm not doing so much F1 because obviously the season's over. I'm still going to be doing a flaming time up, but at the moment, I'm doing a World Cup watch along. For you guys like the World Cup football, hit me up on YouTube. I do live watch alongs. I've got all the maps, got all the virtual scores. Come and chat, man. I'm there. I'm doing one tomorrow. So this is Solar P1 signing out. Finally, this season is done.